For up to 4 days, innovators, policymakers, and investors from across the world convened in Kigali for Africa's largest ICT forum, and that's none other than the Transform Africa Summit. Now, in this episode of Doing Business in Rwanda, we are going to dissect ways to boost Africa's digital economy, which was the focus of the forum. Welcome, my name is Muvunyi. The fact that technology can be an engine of socio-economic transformation is the motive behind Africa's efforts to promote the sector. Most importantly, it carries solutions for the continent's young and fast-growing population.
We are in the era of the digital economy. Remaining behind is not an option anymore for Africa. It never was, but we thought or acted like it was. Technology connects the world like never before. Access to knowledge has become much more equitable as a result.
Technology can help Africa reach its socio-economic transformation goal if used smartly. It can help us reach them faster. We are here because we have a shared belief and value that we can make a difference individually and collectively in the respective role we have, whether it is the private sector or public sector, academia, or the youth. Together, we have embarked into a digital transformation journey that will have a profound impact in our continent, the impact that is beyond what we can imagine today, because seeds have endless outcome.
We are gathered here as leaders to chart the way forward as we transition into a digital economy. With so many opportunities at our disposal, a growing youthful population that necessitates innovative ways of creating jobs to truly sustain economic growth for the continent. Designing innovative financing instruments, developing human capital are all priorities as we chart the way forward.
Investment in Africa's tech industry has been on a remarkable rise. Tech startups on the continent attracted investment worth a whopping $1.1 billion last year from $277 million in 2015. Much as significant this is, more efforts are needed.
There's a need to begin to charter efforts and stimulate investors' attention to sectors such as healthcare, transportation, education, for the full spectrum of sustainable development. Investment is continuing to grow, but we need to leapfrog the opportunities and build strategies that enable more favorable entrepreneurial climate, unlocking more funding, and facilitating innovators to address the fundamental African challenges with homegrown solutions. There's also a need to ensure that startups with genuine solutions are not suffocated by the large companies. Digital technologies unlock opportunities for entrepreneurs to directly access global chain markets, as well as compete at the same level as the large corporations. Therefore, empowering them and easing their exploration of digital technologies is imperative for Africa's transformation journey.
Africa has been lagging behind in terms of technology, but there is commitment to not only catch up, but also leapfrog through going beyond consumption, but also creation of content.
Let's not be empty vessels using broadband internet merely to consume the content and ideas produced by others. We are innovators and thinkers. We have our own products to sell, or we should have. We have our own stories to tell.
Despite common doubts about Africa's ability to realize a digital economy, some people demonstrate a positive stance and hope based on Africa's remarkable progress in the recent past with regards to digital growth.
I'd like to start by saying how much Africa has already achieved, because we often say, oh, Africa is lagging behind on this and that and the other thing. But Africa has achieved a lot in the digital space. First, take the whole mobile revolution. It started about 20 years ago in Africa. That has revolutionized not just the sector, the ICT sector, but also economies. Economies have grown more rapidly, have become more inclusive thanks to this this mobile revolution rather. And so mobile then spread to other things. And we saw in this region the birth basically of mobile money. Quite amazing, the impact that has had so far, the number of people who today have access to financing transfers and ability to receive money, to pay money, and in many cases also to have online accounts. You look 10 years ago, we were nowhere in that space. Today, we have advanced tremendously. The point I'm trying to make is that what we have seen in Africa is an amazing ability to pick up on new technologies, to develop new services that serve people's needs, including poor people's needs. And so my first message is one of we're building on a very strong track record. There's steps to be made. We're not there, we're not where we should be yet, where we want to be yet. But the achievements are remarkable.
In Rwanda, but not only, in many other African countries, the technology, the digital era is something that they see as a lever to accelerate the growth. So we all know about the mobile that disrupted Africa some years ago, that helped Africa to leapfrog from basic telephony to what we have today, which is fintech on mobile. You can send money, you can order your food, etc. You all heard about different examples. And from what I see from the government, and again here today in Smart Africa, is that they are in this process. However, they still need the help of the private sector and the people to actually bring them projects, bring them offers that they're working on to help them actually push forward.
President Paul Kagame emphasized the importance of working together as a fundamental way to achieve set targets.
Collaboration is the only way for us to navigate successfully through the complex global dynamics we have to face. There are always tendencies to want to marginalize or divide our continent for various reasons. We know better not to go along with this. Africa can only protect our people's interests and increase the size of our market through integration and cooperation. This is especially the case when it comes to harmonizing laws and regulations and ensuring that Africa's ICT infrastructure is managed in a sensible way.
The more the continent grows digitally, the more it needs to strengthen protection.
The more we will have access to broadband, the more you'll be vulnerable to attacks. And cyber attacks are something which are very serious, which is affecting economies which are more stronger than our economies. So when I'm talking about human capital of training, I think it would be essential to train people in cybersecurity. Actually, during this meeting, I was talking with the ministers of ICT about the possibility of having 1 or 2 centers of excellence on cybersecurity and train on the continent a large number of people who can help us protect our networks, our growing networks. If we don't do that, we might really reverse a lot of the benefits that we are gaining now of higher digitization of our economy.
Within 6 years of existence, Transform Africa Summit has grown to become the biggest tech forum on the continent and has been especially a catalyst for various initiatives that are currently operating in Rwanda.
It has grown to the extent whereby Transform Africa is now the mother of all these different areas, initiatives that is bringing it forward. You have these startups that are bringing different solutions, such as robotics-oriented solutions, or you have the likes of Fab Lab, you have data scientists, you have even universities that are coming forward because they're seeing that Rwanda is quite active into it. And it's bringing fruitful in the sense that we have now more startups that are actually looking for homegrown solutions, and I think that's what BA has made in Rwanda, and I believe it's extending to other parts of Africa.
The event attracted tech firms from across the world, such as cybersecurity giant Kaspersky. The summit also saw a few tech companies launch their operations in Rwanda, signaling a success of the country's efforts to promote ICT and turn itself into an ICT hub in the region. And that's where we leave it on today's episode of Doing Business in Rwanda. Don't forget to send your feedback on email at dbiarrow@abn360.com or on Twitter at dbirwanda. From myself and the team, thanks for watching.